Picture this: kids on bikes, the fuzzy hum of a VHS player, something sinister lurking in the woods. If this already sounds like your kind of story, then I've got some games that you need to try. I'm Chris from the Indie Game Arcade Podcast, and I've gathered a list of 10 indie games featuring coming-of-age tales with a paranormal twist, just like Netflix's Stranger Things. Something's off in the town of Beacon Pines, and it's not just the missing people, it's how everyone pretends nothing's wrong. You play as Luca, a curious little deer in a storybook town that's equal parts cute and suspicious. His best friends sneak out after curfew, adults whisper behind closed doors, and a chill hangs over the forest that the town pretends not to feel. You collect charms, single words that let you rewrite moments in the story. Plug one in, and the plot shifts. It's less about perfect choices and more about exploring what each decision says about the characters. Luca and his friends stumble onto a secret that ties their small town to a hidden research facility and a strange substance seeping through its heart. What starts as curiosity quickly turns into a fight to uncover what the adults are hiding. It's a blend of mystery, friendship, and creeping dread that shouldn't work together, but it does beautifully. It's the late 90s in rural Indonesia. You're a teenager, skipping class, petting stray cats, and, well, trying to stop the end of the world. You play as Atma, a high school kid trying to navigate the awkward edge of adulthood when reality starts to crack. Literally. The town around him flickers between nostalgia and something cosmic as he searches for his girlfriend and the truth behind the strange forces tearing everything apart. You explore, talk to townsfolk, pet every cat you can see, and space dive into people's hearts to help them face the emotions they've buried. It's equal parts slice of life and dream logic. Beneath the beautiful pixel art and gentle pacing, it's about trauma, memory, and what it means to grow up when your world feels like it's ending. This one will hit you right in the chest. It's emotional, honest, and absolutely gorgeous. A story about love, loss, and the little supernatural moments that connect us. A group of teenagers sneaking out into the night to investigate strange happenings in their town. That's the Blackout Club in a nutshell, but it's actually way creepier than it sounds. You play as one of several kids who've noticed something wrong with the adults. Everyone in town is sleepwalking, whispering to someone or something called the Shape. When your friend disappears, you and your crew form a secret club to record proof and expose what's happening. It's a first-person co-op horror experience where every mission feels like breaking into a nightmare version of your own neighborhood. You'll sneak past possessed adults, collect evidence, and try not to make too much noise because the Shape hunts everyone who does. But there's no magic fix. No grown-ups to save you. Just kids, walkie-talkies, and the knowledge that the more you learn, the more it knows about you. So if Stranger Things had a stealth horror mode, it would probably look exactly like this. On the surface, Bloomtown: A Different Story looks like a bright, old-school RPG about summer vacation, until the monsters start showing up. You play as Emily and her brother Chester, two kids spending the summer with their grandparents in a small town that seems perfectly ordinary. That is, until they uncover a hidden layer of reality beneath it all. A place called the Underside, where people's fears and secrets take on monstrous forms. In between exploring town, meeting neighbors, and growing friendships, you'll dive into supernatural battles facing creatures that mirror the darker sides of everyday life. It's part cozy adventure, part turn-based RPG, and part creature collector, with gorgeous pixel art and a story that flips from nostalgic to unsettling in a heartbeat. Bloomtown captures that feeling of discovering the world isn't as simple or as safe as you thought, but it can still be fun. Last Time I Saw You kind of feels like a summer dream you can only half remember. Set in late 1980s rural Japan, you play as Ayumi, a middle school boy pulled between his first crush and a town that might be cursed. A typhoon hits, strange sightings spread through the forest of Amatsu, and a mysterious girl from Ayumi's dreams seems to be tied to all of it. You'll explore hand-drawn streets and woods over a handful of days, helping neighbors, following rumors, and chasing that line where folklore starts to feel real. It's a narrative adventure with light platforming and a few brief action beats, but the focus is really on the story, family, guilt, and the yokai-tinged secrets a quiet town might keep. It's gentle, eerie, and despite all the supernatural, very human. It's about how growing up can kind of feel haunting itself, even without all the yokai hanging around. I'm gonna hazard a guess you already know this one. Omori was a breakout hit, but for anyone who missed it, it starts cute and turns devastating. You play as Sunny, a boy who escapes into a dreamlike world he calls Headspace, where familiar friends and pastel comfort slowly peel back to reveal the real-world trauma he's avoiding. It's a classic feeling turn-based RPG at first, but where emotions become literal mechanics. Happy, sad, angry, all of those affect your party and how battles unfold. The further you go, the more things begin to blur, and your choices decide what truth you're actually ready to face. It's heavy and unforgettable, about memory, guilt, and about the ways that kids can build whole worlds in their imaginations just to survive the harsh reality that life has given them. A strange crash lights up the night sky over Mapletown, and a group of kids decide to go check it out. That's how Echo Generation begins. Curiosity and maybe a little too much bravery. You play as a tight-knit gang exploring their sleepy suburb, knocking on doors, poking through junkyards, and uncovering secrets the adults don't seem to notice. The game mixes exploration with turn-based combat that feels alive. Every attack is tied to quick-time minigames and comic book-like powers that make even small fights feel personal. What starts as neighborhood rumors turns into something far, far bigger. A sci-fi mystery involving monsters, animatronics, and maybe even time itself. Its chunky style voxel art reminds me of a Stranger Things story played out through interactive Lego sets, which I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like something perfect for a chilly fall day. It's the summer of '95 in Lost Records Bloom and Rage, and four girls think they've got the whole world ahead of them, until they find something in the woods that they shouldn't have. You play as Swan, filming her new band's chaotic teenage days with a camcorder, making mixtapes, chasing friendships, or more, and finally trying to forget what they found. Decades later, you step into her shoes once again, older now, back in Velvet Cove, and facing the friends and secrets she left behind. Gameplay moves between those two summers, letting you explore, record, and make choices that change how much truth you uncover, and whether the past ever really stays buried. It's a story about music, memory, and the kind of friendships that feel bigger than life. With its Riot Girl energy and supernatural edge, Bloom and Rage is like a love letter to those fond, but also emotionally damaged summers of our youth. You've got the essentials: a late-night island party, a crackling radio, a bonfire on the beach, and a signal that opens a door to another dimension that should have stayed closed. That's Oxenfree. You play as Alex, a teenager on a ferry trip with friends to an abandoned military island. What's meant to be a night of music and mischief then turns into something much stranger when they accidentally tune their radio to the other side and something starts listening back. You'll explore the island, solve environmental puzzles, and guide every conversation through real-time dialogue choices that shape your relationships and fate. The story twists as time loops, echoes of the past, and voices from nowhere pull the group apart. Its minimalist art style and reactive dialogue make it haunting without needing jump scares. It's a supernatural coming-of-age story about grief, connection, and what happens when you just can't undo what's already been said. It's summer of 1986, and a group of friends in small-town California stumble across a mysterious crystal that let them cross into the spirit world. At first, it feels like the ultimate secret, a window into something no one else can see. But that discovery comes with a cost. As you play the different characters, each with their own specific beat-em-up combat style, you'll explore their town, uncover a government conspiracy, and try to understand what this power really means. The game blends exploration and action with a story that starts light and nostalgic before hitting you way harder than you expect. Because what starts as a backyard-style adventure turns into a fight for something much bigger. And not just saving their town, but learning what it means to grow up, to lose, and to remember. With a mix of both hand-drawn and pixel art, a synth-fueled soundtrack, and heartfelt storytelling, Crossing Souls nails that feeling of friendship that you thought would last forever. Caught between life, death, and a summer that changed everything. Okay, so I know Stranger Things 3 the game does exist, but because it's directly tied to the show, I felt like that wasn't quite fair to be on the list. Plus, it's not very easily available anymore. Still, if you can find it, it might be worth picking up so you can beat up some demo dogs with a buddy. However, you don't have to be plopped down in Hawkins to remember that childhood sense of wonder and fear these other indie games capture so wonderfully. If you want to stay up to date on the newest indie games, go check out Indie Game Arcade on your favorite podcast app. Most importantly, keep supporting indie game devs, and I'll be here next week with another list of the best indie games.